Imagine a quiet farm, far from any neighbors, surrounded only by dense woods and the silence of the Bavarian countryside. A family of 6 lives there, isolated, but not alone. Footsteps in the snow appear, leading toward the farmhouse, yet none leading back. Whispering sounds at night, objects moving without explanation. And then, one of the most brutal and mysterious mass murders in German history. This is the story of the Hinterkaifeck Murders. It was the year 1922. The Gruber family, Andreas, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, her 2 children, and their maid lived on the Hinterkaifeck farm, about 70 kilometers north of Munich. From the outside, it looked like an ordinary rural life. Farming, taking care of animals, surviving the harsh winters. But beneath that surface, secrets and tension filled the household. Andreas was known as a harsh man, rumored to have an inappropriate relationship with his own daughter. Victoria longed for freedom, while the children lived quietly under the shadow of their stern grandfather. Just days before the murders, strange things began to happen. Andreas noticed footsteps in the snow leading from the forest to the farmhouse, but none returning back. Tools disappeared. Keys went missing. At night, they heard noises from the attic. When he told the neighbors, no one believed him. "You're imagining things, Andreas," they said. But Andreas was firm. "Someone is in this house, watching us." Terrified, the family hired a new maid, Maria Baumgartner. She arrived on March 31st. That same night, she would die. On that chilling evening, someone drew the family one by one into the barn. Imagine the sound of straw underfoot, the cold air pressing against your lungs, and the heavy silence of the barn. The killer struck first at Andreas, then at Cecilia, and then Victoria. Each blow delivered with a pickaxe, brutal and merciless. The young girl, little Cecilia, only 7 years old, reportedly survived long enough to pull out clumps of her own hair in terror before succumbing to her injuries. Meanwhile, inside the house, the killer murdered 2-year-old Joseph as he lay in his crib, and the maid Maria, who had just arrived that very day. 6 lives ended in a single night. What makes the Hinterkaifeck case even more terrifying is what happened afterward. The murderer stayed. For several days after the crime, smoke rose from the farmhouse chimney. The cows were fed, the family dog was cared for, and meals were cooked in the kitchen. Whoever killed the family didn't run away immediately. They lived among the corpses. It wasn't until April 4th, 4 days later, that neighbors decided to check on the Grubers. They discovered the bodies in the barn, covered with hay. The scene was unlike anything they had ever witnessed, gruesome, chilling, and full of unanswered questions. The police were baffled. Over 100 suspects were questioned, including Victoria's rumored lover, local townsfolk, and even passing vagrants. Theories spread: revenge, jealousy, inheritance, even supernatural explanations. One haunting possibility was that the killer had been secretly living in the farmhouse for weeks, perhaps months, watching the family until the perfect moment to strike. But despite multiple investigations, the case was never solved. To this day, the Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of Germany's darkest mysteries. A brutal massacre in a farmhouse surrounded by silence. A family slaughtered. And a killer who vanished without leaving a single trace. What do you think happened that night? Was it a crime of passion, a planned revenge, or something far more sinister? Leave your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more terrifying true crime stories from around the world. Because sometimes, the scariest monsters aren't in our nightmares. They're living right beside us,